Dorothy Morris, and I'm the owner of Green Space Gallery. And I'd just like to thank Dominic, who asked me just very recently if he could use this as a venue. So Green Space Gallery is the physical venue in Wales for his international spoken open mic event. So last night it all happened here. Green Space was shown internationally, which I'm very, very pleased about. But Green Space Gallery really is a very important project for me. I have always been involved in art. As a young child, I used to draw relentlessly. But now I also run classes for people who are vulnerable, people who've got mental health problems, people who've got disabilities, people who are just lonely, live on their own, and they just need to come out and chat to somebody, and might not have much artistic ability, but they enjoy the company of others and they use this as a social space. Recently, I've also extended it by getting another grant to work with youngsters who are not in mainstream education. It could be for various reasons. They could have been bullied in school, they could have had a bereavement, they could have had some emotional trauma that's happened to them, and they need just this quiet space where they can express themselves or be diverted from their anxieties. I'm known in Ferryside for my sort of pretty pictures of the landscape and the seascapes, but I've got a different side to me, which is to do with society. And my most recent painting is this one, which is here, called Spoiling My View. And it's, I don't know whether you can see this little child washed up on the beach, but it was an iconic image really of what's happening out in Syria. So I'm quite political in the sense that we condemn these people all coming here and risking their lives and cluttering up our beach, but unless the weapons stop going out to these war-torn areas, it's going to carry on. So I feel quite passionate about things like that. And also you can see all the nudes on the walls. That's part of an exhibition called We Are Sacred, We Are Beautiful, Part 3. And 30% of that is going to free from torture. It's hard to believe, but 40 million people, especially women, are enslaved today all around the world. And we get about our lives, we're quite comfortable in this country. So I want to bring that to the public's attention. So that's where I am. Thank you.
I was creative before I knew I was brown. I made myself female before I was born. That was my first act of creation and my first act of defiance. My soul is shades of everything. When I was 6, I wrote about snow white men in royal blue ink across off-white pages. So in this next poem, I challenge my academic markers to engage in a more immersive reading of the dissertation. Dearest Academic G, here is my dissertation, an academic piece of work. You will read it and judge it with your academic mind from your linear academic grounding. And you will give me a mark, a percentage on how well I've behaved myself and tick the boxes according to Western academic thought. You will need to do all of these because those are the rules, Academic G. But what you actually read between the lines and clever references is a part of my soul. Torn paper and fragmented words, lifetimes stuck into a tiny zine. An act of retrieval and remembrance, an excavation of an original self, Pinkola Estes, 2018. An explosion of masala mix and ancient peat, older than that ugly thing, the British Empire. Therefore, I invite you into active participation in the non-narrative, non-literary experience of the text, which will make it difficult for the reader to confine himself to a cool and distant acceptance of the data. Morrison, 2019, page 328. Please disturb yourself just a little bit before you settle in to read and mark me. Make turmeric milk, 1 cup of milk, 1 teaspoon of turmeric, half a teaspoon of cinnamon, pinch of black pepper and a little sugar. Blend, heat in a pan until just hot. Drink and stain your lips, followed by a shot of single malt whiskey. Listen and dance to Flight IC 408 to Calcutta by State of Bengal. Going Underground by The Jam. Watch Asian Top Gear, Goodness Gracious Me, BBC. What Happened to the Women? My Family, Partition and Me, India, 1947. Now you are hotter. You get a taste of the non-literary, the roots and the troubling. A taste of my world. The true success of any autoethnography is how it makes you feel, how you reflect, and how this masala mix may change you just a little bit. And I'm going to read a couple of those documents to set the context for the rest of my reading. School report, 1977, Nether Green Middle School, child's name Dalbinder Kular, class M1F, teacher's report. Dalbinder has made excellent progress this year. She has worked steadily and conscientiously. She has settled well into the middle school. Her attitude to work is mature and sensible. Her work in all aspects of English is very good. Her spelling is excellent and her writing is neat and legible. She uses words imaginatively and can write a well-rounded story. She reads well and her comprehension is good. She makes good use of class and the school library. She is making steady progress in maths, assimilates new work easily, and is careful, neat, and accurate. She likes thematic work and is capable of finding and recording her own information. She willingly contributes to class discussion. Dalbinder has taken to French with enthusiasm and is always ready to answer questions. She likes art and craft and is quite creative, if somewhat lacking in confidence. She prefers the work to be structured. She is making quite good progress with her recorder and is a very good and keen singer. She is less enthusiastic about physical activities, although she joins in and seems to enjoy sports and games. In class, Dalbinder is always friendly and helpful. She has plenty of friends. She seems well set to go forward to an equally successful second year. School report, 1985. Examination result, 4%. Average mark, 52%. Position in class set, 8. Effort grade, E. She is now completely out of her depth and has not put in the required effort. There are frankly no prospects of O-level success. Thank you. So this poem tells a bit of the backstory behind the last school report that I read out, where there was frankly not much hope for my academic success, called The Ghost of We. The ghost of I looks down into the schoolyard. All the white kids are walking west. Defying physics, one brown girl walks east, trailing her scream behind her in broken peacock feathers. When the schoolyard is empty, she sucks up the space and spreads her feathers and lets her scream escape into smog. I catch it and swallow it whole. Her world is full of suffocated teal, fuchsia and violet, feather tips that stroke the moon, rose incense and gold trim, muskier than the West Walkers, infused with cardamom pod and clove, 1,000 eyes that hold the imagineering of sadhus, Sufis and Sikhs, henned hands, jaded plains of emerald and Simran. Yet her soul thrusted west via Pan Am and Satnam, Waheguru, into steelscapes, Thatcher and McCain's cheesy deep-fried pancakes. She chants, I'm going underground, whilst her dada chants the higher ground. Satanam, Satanam, Waheguru Satanam, whilst the white kids live overground. Her feathers snap tight, closed in. She needs the sacred word now, the one that keeps her feathers open, like the ancient prayers woven into the Ramallah, so she can hear the nitnem from her ancestors and the jaddu that will raise her up. The ghost of I looks down into an empty schoolyard. One brown girl plucks her own feathers one by one. Each scream slips through my grasping hands. A teardrop falls from my eye. She catches it on her fingertip, looks into it, and sees the ghost of we. We stir magic into each other's eyes. Defiant, she steals the wind and thrusts her remaining feathers open. She looks west and walks the east into it. December 2019. Amygdala yanks invisible black plait, tethering me to a formation of flashback. This moment I find myself in, pulled back right. Identity is formed in the historical context within which I exist. Just try it. Just you dare try and pull me right back. Last breath blown into left palm. Left-handed practice begins. When I turn left, I walk the edge. My wild. This is what I choose. This is my definition. This is how I name myself. This next poem was the last poem in my dissertation. Okay. So there you have it, Academic G. We crossed the threshold together, isn't it? Did the chili burn the tip of your tongue? Did the turmeric turn your lips golden? Did you taste the troubling? This is the last breath of my dissertation. Do you dare to catch it? Swallow it whole and say, I can hear you now? Academic G, before you go, listen to Real Great Britain by Asian Dub Foundation. No time to cool and distance yourself now. There is more troubling to come. So, whilst writing this dissertation, my very close friend Maddo was seriously unwell. And 3 days before submitting my dissertation, she was given just a couple of weeks to live. She was a maverick, a wild-hearted woman and an activist, and forever in my heart. And I wrote this next poem and last poem for her. It's called Deep Fried Love. She fed us love in every chapati rolled between her palm chakras, in every ladle of cod curry, taste tested between hot pink lips, and in every okra bhaji, Maddo fed us her deep fried love. No shallow fry or low fat love, no one cow spray, no. Maddo's love was full and greedy and fattening and demanding. It was hot, made you ask for second helpings. Yeah, it came with a chili kick to keep us on our toes, and sometimes the whatever of a mint chocolate and banana bhaji surprise. You heard that right, mint chocolate and banana bhajis. But most of all, Maddo fed us the full masala mix of her soul, her love, her experience and her mischief, which made us lick our lips until we swallowed this love, letting it become part of our bodies and bones, like the best food always does, until she changed us just a little bit, and then one pinch more. We must never forget that we have all now become the guardians of Maddo Yasmin Khan's deep fried love.